Hey Thinksters, welcome, it's Chris, founder of Things.com, and today I want to welcome you to my coffee break Python with the topic how to convert a tuple to a list. So, and what is the most Pythonic way of doing this? Often there are multiple ways to accomplish the same thing, and each way has its own advantages and disadvantages. Some ways only have disadvantages and actually no advantage, but other ways, there are often multiple ways to accomplish the same thing. So, how to convert a tuple to a list? Say you have a tuple with 3 values, like 1, 2, 3, and you want to convert it to a list. Then obviously the easiest way is to use a list constructor, and this may already be what you want to accomplish with this video. Okay, so you can use the list Python built-in list function and convert tuple to a list, and you get a list, which is a new data structure in memory with exactly the same element. So it's a flat copy, it's not a deep copy. If you have, for example, a tuple of tuples, then the inner tuples, it will just copy the references to those objects. Okay. So this is like the easiest way, the first method of doing it. But then actually there is also another way, and I think discussing the alternatives will just make you a better coder, so we will dive into it. You will learn a lot about things like generator expression, the asterisk operator, and many other things in this video. So keep watching if you want to not only solve this problem, but also become a better coder, better thinker, and problem solver overall. Okay, so say we have the same tuple. How can we convert it to a list? Again, we assign the result of our expression to the variable called list, LST. And now what do we have to do? So we can also use a square bracket notation to create a new list, and then just unpack all values using the asterisk operator of our tuple t. Okay, our tuple t is this tuple with the 3 elements, and now we use the asterisk operator, the star operator, as a prefix to this tuple, and you can use the asterisk operator on each collection type. Okay, so in each, for example, on an iterable, to unpack all values into this into the enclosing data structure. Okay, in this case, the enclosing data structure is a list, so you unpack all values into this list. Okay, so this basically is unpacking operator. You can think of it this way: you just remove the outer brackets of your data structure on which you apply it, of your iterable. Okay, so if you have a list, you remove the list brackets, the square brackets. If you have a tuple, you remove this parenthesis. So you remove these outer brackets and you unpack all values, you place them into an outer structure. So therefore you also cannot use the list. So if you run this, okay, so we get the following result. We have two new lists. So but you cannot just like unpack a list into the nothing. Okay, so this will throw in syntax error. So you can only unpack a list, for example, into an enclosing tuple structure. Okay, so this is now a tuple structure. Now we have unpacked all values from the list into the tuple. So this works. So, but you always need to, if you unpack an iterable, you always need to have something that catches the values. This can be either an argument list, or it can be a collection type of list, set or tuples. Okay, so this is the second method, and the second method has an advantage. So it's even more concise than the first method. You see, so the first one has like 6-7 characters, and this one has only 4 characters. But then it also has another advantage, and this is if you have 2 tuples, like 1, 2, and tuple 2, 3, 4, or even more tuples. You can unpack all of them in a very concise manner. Okay, so without having to do concatenation of the tuples and so on, and create a new tuple data structure which you then just unpack into the list, you can simply create a list and then unpack all values of the first tuple, unpack all values of the second tuple. That's it. If you have more tuples, of course, you can, with this comma separated syntax, you can unpack all of them into your list. So this is a very effective approach. So, and I would say this is the most Pythonic way if you have a small constant number of tuples which you want to unpack into a list. Then you should use this approach. Of course, if you have like a list of tuples or a like large tuple of tuples, so say you have this example here, so, and it can have an arbitrary number of tuples, and you want to unpack all of them into a new list data structure, then of course you cannot just use this one, because this will just, so if you So we can try it. So say you want to create a new list, and now you simply use the list constructor on your tuples. And if you print this, let's also print this one. So you get the following list of tuples. But you say you want to unpack all elements of all the tuples in your tuple of tuples into the outer list. So you basically want to make it flat and place all the elements into the flat tuple. Then you need to use a generator expression. It's related to list comprehension, and you can simply actually you may even just take list comprehension. I think it's the best way here. You can do the following. You can have x for t in ts for x in t. Okay, so let's explain this. So we have the context for t in ts. So we go over all tuples, we call them t, in our tuples data structure. So now each element t is a tuple by itself. And then we go over all elements in the tuple. So it's like a nested for loop. So for all tuples, and then for all element in the tuple t. And this element is called x. And now we simply place this element x into the outer list data structure. Okay, so this is the expression part, the part that comes in front of the context part in the list comprehension statement to create new lists. And yeah, you can just use it. So we use the identity expression, so we don't modify the value x. You could even do something like square x, for example. Yeah, so you can have any expression, but in our case we just want to place the value in the outer list, and this will basically flatten a list. So you see now we have flattened the list. We have all elements that are in the tuple of tuples here defined, but we simply get rid of all outer lists and so on. So this is how you can convert a tuple of tuples into a list, into a flat list. And then there's a variant of this, which I will not even discuss because I think it's not very beautiful. It's using a generator expression and unpacking in combination, but I think it's not the best way. And then you can also, like, an alternative for this is you can use a generator expression and use the built-in list function. Okay, now this part simply creates a generator or an iterable, and now you can convert any iterable to a list. So this would result in the same output basically. Yeah, okay, it has the same result. And then the last method I wanted to show you is a very simple method, but you should never forget that there is also a simple way of solving it. And this method would be used by coders that come, for example, from Java or C++. They don't know the list conversion method, and they just like iterate over all values in the tuple, and then they use the append function to append an element to the list and print the list. Okay, so this has exactly the same behavior. Okay, so you pack all elements from the tuple into the list, into a new list. So note that you should use the append method here and not the plus equal method with a new small x. So this would also work because of list concatenation. You can use the plus operator to concatenate two lists, but then you would have to create a lot of lists. So if this tuple had, say, thousands of elements, then you would create a new list here, a new small list with one element, and you would create a new list which is a concatenation of both. So if you have thousand loop iterations, you would create 2000 list objects in memory that have to be garbage collected later, which is very inefficient then. Of course, it's not a problem. Probably your code will still run and maybe you will not even feel it, but it's just a bad practice of doing it. Yeah? Creating a lot of lists that are not really necessary, which you can just get rid of. Okay, so this is the sixth method. Is simple, plain. It's easily understandable by coders that are not native Python coders who come from other programming languages. But of course, the most Pythonic way in this case is just using the list constructor. Okay, and only if you have like multiple tuples or you have a tuple of tuple, then you can do some advanced stuff like using generator expressions or unpacking. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you like the video, make sure to train your Python skills by getting our book, Coffee Break Python Workbook. It's great. You can solve a puzzle each day during your coffee break. It's fun. You will become a better coder overall. So get the book, Coffee Break Python Workbook. It contains 127 Python puzzles, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Bye.